Hey guys, today I'll be summarizing the novel It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The story starts with Lily Bloom. It was the week her father died, and she had delivered a eulogy for him this day, and it was a disaster. She was asked to say 5 good things about her father, and she couldn't even say one. It was, in fact, deliberate because she hated her father. Her father was an abusive man, physically violent to her mother. Thus, she wasn't agonized about his death but was still sad. After the eulogy, she went to a random building's rooftop to find fresh air and be alone. But she wasn't alone for long because after a while, I don't know whether to call him a hero or anti hero, Ryle, he enters. He is a neurosurgeon. Apparently, he is having a shitty day as well and wanted some peace for a while but encounters a stranger, that is Lily, on the same roof. When she looks at him, she is instantly attracted to him. He looks beautiful, well built, smells like money, and is several years older than her. He is just perfect. They introduce themselves and, following that, have a great conversation. She tells him she works for a marketing firm and wants to open her own florist shop someday. Flowers and plants are her passion. She tells him about her father, his death, his abuse to her mother, her eulogy. He tells her about seeing a little boy die tonight who was accidentally killed by a gunshot by his own younger brother. He also tells her about his life goals and that he has no intention of marriage or children because he thinks he's too selfish to be in a relationship, too absorbed in himself, too ambitious. All he wants is to be the best neurosurgeon. So he has never had a relationship and all he does is one night stands. Contrary to Lily, who believes in love and is in infinite search for the Holy Grail. She tells him the first guy she ever slept with was homeless. His name was Atlas, and when her father found out, he beat him up. Sometimes things are just easier with a stranger because it doesn't matter if they are judging you. At least you can speak your heart out. Probably that's what was happening with these two. Ryle is attracted to Lily too and approaches her for a night. She refuses, but they end up having a little moment, in the middle of which he receives a phone call from the hospital and had to leave. But before leaving, he snaps Lily's picture on his phone because he wants to remember her. And this was their first encounter. The next timeline starts 6 months later. Now, Lily has bought a little place to open her floral shop and she has quit her marketing job. In the shop, she meets Eliza, who wants to take up a job at the shop. Not for money, but just because she wants to stay busy. Lily ends up hiring her. They start cleaning up the place, in the middle of which Lily hurts her ankle. Eliza calls up her husband Marshall for help, who is somewhere nearby, and asks him to bring ice. And when Marshall enters, he enters with, guess who? Ryle. Ryle turns out to be Eliza's younger brother, and thus Lily and Ryle have their second encounter. As he's a doctor, he helps her with the ankle and tells her he has thought about her a lot of times after their first meet and still wants her. Only once though. She tells him she is very attracted to him too, but they both want very different things from life, thus they should not be around each other very much. But they both know this is not their last encounter because now Eliza works for Lily. Now their third encounter. Lily was on bed rest for several days because of her ankle. Ryle comes visit her, not for her ankle, but for himself. He reveals he is thinking too much of her and can't get her out of his head and wants her to make it stop. He wants to have her just once and says after that he'll be able to forget about her. Lily likes him too much to say no, but at the same time she is not that kind of a girl. She is fighting with her own thoughts. Ryle still spends the night, but nothing happens that day. Next morning, Ryle apologizes and promises that this was the last she will hear from him. And he keeps the promise, but for only 2 months. 53 days later, it was the day of the opening of Lily's floral shop. And guess who was the first customer? Yes, Ryle. He buys a bouquet of lilies and gets them delivered to Lily herself. with the note, "Make it stop." Their next encounter is at Eliza's birthday party, where Lily brings a date. Ryle gets jealous seeing him. At the party, Lily notices a painting on the wall. It was the distorted image of the picture that Ryle had clicked the first day they met. Lily confronts him asking if he only wants her once, what is he doing putting up pictures of her in his apartment? Why is he hurting her so much because of his own dilemma? He has no answer. But that night he realizes he wants her more than just for one night. He actually, for the first time, wants someone to be a part of his life, and he tells her he likes her too much to let go of her, but doubts himself a lot. Lily understands this, and both of them decide to give each other a chance, like a trial relationship. The trial turns out to be a success. They both love being with each other. But there's always a but, right? There comes a turning point in their relationship. One day, Lily's mother is visiting her, and Ryle insists upon meeting her too. They decide to meet at a restaurant. Her mother is thoroughly impressed with Ryle. But at the restaurant, she encounters someone she knew from the past, the waiter. He was none other than Atlas, the homeless guy she first slept with. This was the first part of the summary, and in the next part, we'll get to know the complete story of Atlas and Lily's past. Thank you.